Hey, this is Corey Rogers, Vice President of Marketing for National Equipment Dealers, and we're on site here in South Carolina, just south of Greenville, on a job site with Jon and his crew with Upstate Brush Control. We sponsor Jon along with Hyundai and Prinoth, and really enjoy working with him. If you haven't followed his channel, check him out on YouTube. Go to Upstate Brush Control on YouTube and you'll see all the videos he posts. But we're standing here on a job site that they're clearing for a homeowner. Yep. And I want to introduce you to Jon in person.
All right, so we got a little job going on here. It's about 3/4 of an acre, and we're cutting in a drive for a homeowner. We're gonna doing some clearing. We got the 140, we got the mulcher out, dozer, all kinds of stuff going out here today. So it's not a very big job, but this is kind of our wheelhouse, these smaller little lots that a lot of the bigger guys don't want to handle.
We started working with Jon, I guess what it's been, about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And just really have enjoyed this opportunity. You know, Jon has got a huge presence on YouTube, and fortunately he's right in our backyard here in South Carolina. We've got, NED has 4 branches in South Carolina. We're getting ready to open one up real close to Jon's a shop, actually, over in Welford, South Carolina. But we're located in Columbia, in Somerville, and in Conway. And then soon we'll be opening a real nice facility in Welford. We're also all throughout North Carolina. We're in Charlotte, Clayton, North Carolina, Grimesland, and Lexington. And then we actually go all the way down into Florida. We've got a Savannah branch, and we've got 3 branches in Florida, and then 2 branches over in Texas. As a company, we're the largest Hyundai dealer in the nation. We do a lot of Prinoth mulching heads. We're big Prinoth dealer, Dennis Seamoff dealer, Shearex dealer. So we've got a couple of pieces of equipment out here with Jon and his crew. One is the Hyundai HX140ALD. It's got a dozer on the front of it, the one that you just saw. And then the other is an attachment that we're running off Jon's ASV RT120. Phenomenal machine, and running that attachment, which is a Prinoth. I think it's an M450S-1900, I believe is what it is. M450S-1900. Great attachment, and we'll get some input from Jon about what his thoughts are on that. We're going to do some tuning on it today so that it works as best as it can with his ASV. But we'll be filming around the site and talk to some of his crew, get their thoughts and opinions about the Hyundai. And I wanted to talk to Jon. You've had it for 3 weeks. You know, what are some of your thoughts about the Hyundai so far?
We're just very happy with the machine. You know, the comfort, the how quiet it is, that's one thing that really stands out. Being an operator, you do get fatigued by noise and stuff. That really does, it bothers me. I don't know, I've talked to other people, it does bother other people too, but a lot of loud noises, pump whining and stuff like that can cause fatigue, and this is very quiet, extremely quiet, and really like that about this machine. Keep saying about the blade, it's a game changer for us. Working on these, we're here in the upstate, have a lot of hillsides, creek banks, stuff like that. We're always working around, and to be able to lock you in with that blade is a huge advantage.
So on the blade, you see more of an advantage from a stabilizer standpoint, or do you use it a lot for backfilling and pushing material?
Both. I would say more for stabilizing, but it also works great for backfilling. I mean, you dig out a stump, something like that, you just blade it back in. But stabilizing is probably the bigger thing. Keep the machine from rocking, keep the operator more comfortable.
You know, Jon, share a little bit about how you got started in this industry, if you could.
We got started about 8 years ago in the mulching, or into the mulching world. My background is construction, and grew up kind of swinging a hammer, framing houses, building fences, that kind of stuff, and just got kind of tired of, it's not really where I wanted to go. I wanted to get into the equipment world. And so me and my brother, we ended up splitting a T300 together, and then that's kind of how we got started. We did some renting first to make sure it was right for us, a right fit for us. With renting, you know, we're able to still sell some jobs, and then once we figured out this was the right fit for us, then we upped machines. You know, every year we tried to, you know, as the business grew, as we grew, we didn't get in over our heads. A lot of guys do that. They jump in way too quick, and you know, we took our time and got into it, make sure it was the right fit for us. You know, we have a great team of guys here. We have 3 guys, Willie, Josh, and Micah. and just truly blessed to have them working for us. And YouTube, yeah, it's just kind of a started as a hobby and something we could show our customers. That's really how it got started, and now we have these amazing opportunities with NED.
Well, thanks, man. I'm gonna let you get back to work, because that's really what you do, day in, day out. This YouTube thing's just kind of on the fringe, but we really appreciate being a part of this. We appreciate the opportunity to sponsor you, and I know Hyundai does as well, and Prinoth. And we're gonna hang with you throughout the day and ride with you back to Greenville, learn a little bit more about your company and see your shop and some of the projects that you finished. Maybe we'll drive by some of those, and look forward to a long future working together.
Awesome, thank you.
So I'm next to Micah, who's running the HX140ALD right now, and he's been on this all morning, I believe. Micah Poost has been working with Upstate Brush Control for what, 2 years, Micah? And going to get his initial opinions about the machine and what he's working on here in this job site, and learn a little bit about Micah. So with that, I'll flip this over to Micah.
Well, I grew up in California, and I knew Jon from back in California, and I wanted a job, so I moved across the country for a job.
So Micah, tell me, what do you love about being an operator, and what are your thoughts initially about working with this Hyundai HX140ALD?
I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy being out in the woods, just working. I don't know, it's just hard to explain, but it's special. I really like the blade on that thing. It's super helpful for digging up stumps and stuff. That would probably be the biggest thing so far. I haven't operated it a lot so far, but.
I'm standing here next to Will Walker, part of the Upstate Brush Control crew. He's a little shy on camera, but we're going to put him on there anyway. Will, you were just operating the ASV RT120 with our new Prinoth. I think it's an M450S-1900. And they're in the process of tuning that, and they were talking a little bit about how to sharpen the teeth and how to tune it properly and what flow works best and all that kind of stuff. Tell us a little bit about Will. Who's Will, and how long you've been working for Upstate and for Jon, and what do you love about what you do? I'm gonna switch it around to you, bud.
All right, like I said, my name's Will, and I worked for Jon pretty much since I got out of high school, so coming up on 7 years now, I guess. Yeah, I like being in the woods every day. That's pretty great. A lot better than sitting at a desk, and I don't know. That's not for me. So yeah, Jon's been really good to me. He took a chance on an 18-year-old who really had no equipment experience, and taught me, I guess, everything I know.
So you know Jon, you know his company and his family, and what makes Upstate Brush Control, beside the YouTube thing, what makes you guys stand out, do you think, in terms of customer support, the delivery of a quality job, everything that you guys do? What is it that stands out with Upstate Brush Control the most?
One thing, Jon is always, always from day one that I worked for him, he's like, I'm setting out to deliver the best quality forestry mulching, and now land clearing. When we first started, it was just mulching. He's like, I want to deliver the best finish. We hand cut around every tree, limb up every tree on the property. It doesn't matter, and that's something he's always drilled into me from day one, is trying to be the best, highest quality job we can possibly deliver. And that's something that I try really hard to incorporate that, and I see that in his work, and I try to emulate that, I guess.
You can see the HX140ALD moving some material. They're trying to stockpile all this over here so that the ASV with the Prinoth head can run over it and mulch this down. And so that's what they're working on right now. I think Josh is in the excavator running it. We're going to talk to Josh here in just a few minutes and get his input on working for Upstate Brush Control and what he thinks about the new Hyundai, and if he's had any opportunity to run the Prinoth, what his thoughts are about that. What a beautiful day here in South Carolina. It's just a gorgeous day. Weather is incredible. It's not hot, it's not cold. It's just perfect. A little wet, but other than that, it's great. And we finally made our way around to Josh. Josh Gallant, right? Josh Gallant. Yeah. Josh is going to talk to us a little bit about his experience working for UBC or Upstate Brush Control, and we're going to get out of his hair so he can get back to work. But Josh has been with the company for about 4.5 years, I think. That's what you were telling me. and does a great job for them. Has run the Hyundai some. I think I spoke to Josh maybe briefly, or I've definitely seen you on YouTube in the past. So let me get this camera turned around here.
I really like working for Jon. He's a great boss. It's cool to see the business grow. We got the 130 over there, and then teaming up with you guys with that 140. It's been really cool to see the growth of our company, and I love working for him. Ooh, gonna lose my hat. Pretty windy. It's great. I love what I do. We're in the woods every day, ripping down trees, and we started getting into more of the clearing side of stuff. So Willie and Micah will do the forestry, and then me and Jon will do more of the clearing stuff, like what we're doing today. Just ripping out trees, ripping out stumps, and cutting up all the trees.
So I brought my expert with me, Jon Flournoy from, where are you from, Jon? You're from Oregon originally, but now you're down there in Charleston, that's right. And we just provided a Prinoth M450S-1900 to these guys to use and have available, and they're just putting it to work. We still need to do some tuning on it and whatnot, but Jon, give me just a quick rundown of this Prinoth so we can let these guys get back to work.
Okay. All right, so this is as Corey said, this is a Prinoth M450S-1900 mulching head. We're on an ASV 120 forestry tractor. So this is a control bite rotor system. Fecon makes them, CMOF makes them, other people make them. So there's some differences about this head versus the other control bite rotor heads, which I was just talking to Will about recently. So if you look at most of the control bite rotor heads, you'll see that they have a disc that goes all the way around to the back of the tool, and then an open part for the tool to come through, and that's how they control the bite. The difference between this one and that one, so with that disc all the way around, when you get what Will has termed to the surfboards, which are the small trees that you've cut down as far as you can go and now they're just flats, it's really hard to pick them up. And you probably experienced that with those. So because those discs are actually pushing the thing down into the ground.
Yep.
So Prinoth came up with the idea of putting rakers on this thing like a chainsaw, and that's what these do. So they do the same thing that a raker on a chainsaw does, which means they control the bite, but they're actually giving you a bunch of open area in this head, so you're not having to try to pick things up. It's almost like a vacuum cleaner. It'll pick them up very easily, and Will was saying that he's noticed that with it. So that's one of the features about that that's important.
So behind me, Jon Flournoy, our forestry specialist, is actually tuning the ASV to the Prinoth M450S, and he's in the process of adjusting the RPM of the rotation to approximately 2400 RPM, which is about where it needs to be optimally for such a high flow machine. The ASV will put out 45 GPM, and I think they run it around 43. So it was running a little bit fast, and they've been able to tune it, which is going to help with reduce any vibration or anything that might exist and make the unit run better and run more efficiently. And so that's what they're working on right now. We'll talk to Jon here in just a second and kind of get his input on the process and what goes into that.
What I'm doing right now is I'm adjusting the rotor speed on this head to match the tractor's flow. This tractor has set at 43 gallons a minute. It's you can adjust from inside the tractor. In the old days you had to do it with a pressure gauge. So he wants to run it at 43 gallons a minute at 5,000 PSI. This head right now is running 2,790 RPM. It should be running 23 or 2,400 RPM, so I'm setting it down to 2,400 RPM. That'll tune it with this particular tractor. Corey's asking me what the difference is between the basically the fan belt style, the welded belts versus a poly chain. So the differences are that the poly chains wear longer, they got better traction on the pulleys, so you don't get any slipping, but they have a couple of things you need to know. One of is that you don't tighten them like you would a fan belt on a car. You leave about 3/4 inch of play. This is actually moving about 1 inch, so it's a little bit loose, but that's how you check it. But you don't make them banjo tight like you do on a car. The poly belts, or the fan belt style, the welded belt style, which looks like a couple of fan belts welded together, those have to be quite a bit tighter than these. It's a geared belt, so you get a lot of traction, so all your force is being put to the wood, you're not losing any of your horsepower or your torque to anything slipping in the belt system.
So we had a great day with Upstate Brush Control out on their job site, clearing that residential lot for their customer. And we actually just came back to Jon's shop here in Greenville, South Carolina, and he was showing me around his shop, and we were talking a little bit about their business and how it's grown, and some of the people that they work with, and some of the things that are going on. And I just wanted to tell Jon we really appreciate spending the day with him, and we look forward to doing more videos together and working together in the future, and we're looking forward to additional equipment that they may acquire through us, through NED. If you're interested in acquiring any of the equipment that you've seen through the videos, you can go to our website for more information at neddealers.com, and be happy to work with you or answer any questions you may have. So Jon, what'd you think about today? How'd that go?
It was good. We had a good time. Thank you so much for coming out. Just got to show Corey and Jon around our job site, kind of who we are, got to meet the guys and everything. So that was really neat. We've talked a lot on the phone, but haven't spent a lot of time in person. So, but yeah, huge thanks to NED and the support there. So yeah, really appreciate it. Have a good one, y'all.